What's up guys, in this video we're going to be going over how javelin throwers should train their upper body for strength. That's what we're talking about! Let's go! Strength through length is the first concept that we're going to be going over today. This is a concept that bridges the gap between strength and mobility training. What you're essentially doing is you're doing mobility training with weights. Not only does it help you get into a deeper range of motion than what you would normally be able to do without weights, it builds an insane mind to muscle connection because you're able to work on contracting and relaxing the muscles under tension, which is essential to be able to do in the javelin throw, as you need to stay very relaxed down the runway and then exert all your force into the very end. The first strength through length movement we'll be doing is the dumbbell external rotation off the bench. With this exercise, you're gonna get your back fully on the bench, lower your arm to a 90-degree angle, and then slowly lower the dumbbell. This one, we're gonna allow the weight to pull our hand down and keep our elbow and shoulder high. That way we're working on the stretch and building that strength in the end range of motion. Just be careful with the amount of weight you use. Make sure you work up to it slowly. Once you get to about 20 pounds in this exercise, the risk to reward ratio starts to be off a little bit. So once you get to the point of being able to do 20 pounds, probably wouldn't really go much heavier than that. Stick to the 5 to 20 pound range and just use it to build up your endurance in that external rotation and get stronger in that end range. The second strength through length exercise is the dumbbell knee up rotation. Just gonna get our knee up, stabilize the left side, okay, left leg in the ground, left arm on the bench here, and then we're just going down and up, pretty simple, okay? I used to be really afraid of going past here when I was younger because I was afraid of developing that forward shoulder impingement. But then I realized if I can't do something, there's a reason why I can't do it. So it's better to start light and train the full range of motion than it is to avoid something altogether and wonder why you get hurt because you don't train that area in the full range of motion. So your body's not prepared to do that thing heavy in the full range of motion. Next strength through length exercise is going to be the dumbbell shoulder swing. With this exercise, it's important that we relax the arms and let our hips and pelvis do the work. This next strength through length exercise is combining grip strength, gravity, and shoulder and chest mobility. And it's called the skin the cat. With this one, you wanna be sure that you're really physically advanced in order to perform it and start slow. So if you can't do a full rotation and then come back out of it, just start doing a half rotation in and out and then doing a full rotation and holding it. And then you could try to do a full rotation and then coming back through the other side. The next exercise we're gonna be doing is the barbell pullover. The barbell pullover is essential for building elasticity and strength in the chest. Anterior strength is essential for javelin throwers. As we know, the chest is the primary accelerator of the throwing arm. So when our arm is back, our chest accelerates that throwing arm forward. So as long as we have the proper mobility, the stronger our chest is, the better. As we talked about, the chest is the main accelerator of the throw. So as we're working on our anterior strength, the bench press is going to be the primary movement that we want to see our strength improve in. Along with the anterior strength, another component that is really important to get stronger and more stable is the shoulder. So we're gonna be performing the military press. A very important aspect of anterior upper body strength is building the biceps and the deltoids. After you throw, it's important to get a little bit of blood flow and hypertrophy to the muscles so that you can promote blood flow, get stronger, build muscle, and just build the armor around your joints to get more stable. It is also essential to have a strong posterior chain because the posterior chain not only evens out your posture, because as a javelin thrower, if all you're doing is anterior pressing and throwing forward, you'll begin to develop forward shoulder impingement. Working the posterior helps clean out your posture, avoid forward shoulder impingement, and make sure that our decelerators are very strong. So after we release the javelin, our lat and our rotator cuff will be able to slow down our arm after the release. When it comes to posterior strength, I like to look at the lat pull down as our compound lift. Similar to how in the anterior strength portion, we have the bench press as the main lift. So here, I'm looking for heavy, explosive reps with the lat pull down. So we're really loading and stretching the lats because, as we know, chest is the primary accelerator, lats are the secondary accelerator of the throwing arm. So we want our chest and our lats to be super strong. We're keeping it in the 2 to 5 rep range, going really heavy. Another great exercise for the posterior chain is the supinated grip barbell row. So we're gonna grab it, okay? So supinated grip, so we got palms up, and then we're retracting the scaps, squeezing at the top, feeling a stretch in your back, and then rowing back up. Okay, so we're going up and down, and we're going at that angle to try to get up our leg at a slight backward angle. Here we're working the lats, we're working the back, and it helps your grip strength and biceps as well. The next posterior chain exercise we're gonna be doing is the single arm dumbbell row. So we're gonna get our left foot forward, left arm forward, stabilized on the dumbbell rack here, and then we're rowing up with our right arm. We wanna feel a nice stretch at the bottom here, and then row up, and then we'll switch sides. The last exercise we're gonna do for our posterior chain is the chest supported dumbbell row. So what's really important about this one is that it eliminates all momentum, so it really isolates the back, okay? So you're here, and only your arms and your scaps are doing the retraction movement. You're not doing any momentum swing. Really isolating the muscle and working on that contraction and that stretch at the bottom. Upper body plyometrics are essential for javelin throwers to practice the ability to produce and absorb force. When we run and jump, we are always practicing the ability for the lower body to accelerate and decelerate, but we typically don't train that way with the upper body. Utilizing upper body plyometrics will help us be able to replicate that same feeling we get with our sprinting and jumping, but with the upper body. Some of my favorite upper body plyometrics are clap push-ups, hands elevated plyo push-ups, barbell drop catch bicep curls, and barbell drop catch skull crushers. A hands elevated push-up ISO is extremely helpful for the end of your workout or on a light day where you want to get a nice chest stretch, get some blood flow to the area, and strengthen the tendons without causing too much stress and muscle fiber breakdown. You get down here like this and you're really stretching out the chest. It's really helping your tricep tendons and your forearms rejuvenate after a long day or a long week of training. Well, that's it for strength training the upper body as a javelin thrower. Be sure to check out our video where we go over mobility and injury prevention for javelin throwers' throwing arm. That's what we're talking about.